Boom. What's up, y'all? I'm learning so much about animal hospitals, animal health care, like laws, and like things that are super unfair. So I took Buddy a week ago to the Court Street Animal Hospital. When I had him checked in, they did not give me a price on how much it would cost. It wasn't necessarily an emergency, but it's not like they have a menu. Like you go to Mickey D's, you go to Jack in the Box, you go to Olive Garden, you go to the Cheesecake Factory, you get a menu. You know, if you want, baked beans, it's $3. If you want a double cheeseburger, it's $2.50. You know what you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? So this animal hospital has no pamphlet of what anything costs. They have no menu. There's no flat rate pricing. So I take Buddy there on my bike, and this was close to a week ago. And I check him in. There's no talk of pricing. There's no talk of when you pay. There is a sign that I think it says payment is due when services is rendered, but it doesn't say how much. So I went in there, and this doctor graduated from Auburn. And she basically took his temperature with this rad little ninja thing that you like put in your ear. They didn't do it anally. I know online that's how a lot of people do it when they check temperature on animals. And she brought an assistant in, and they try to check his abdomen, but he's really touchy and doesn't allow a lot of people touch him. And then took his heartbeat, and she said that it was like 120, and his temperature was like 102. So I said, okay, great. And I told her all about the trifex. I told her everything that's going on with Buddy. He's having like these little baby seizures, and he cannot breathe. It's like he's drowning when he's trying to breathe. His abdomen is super swollen. He has like 5 or 6 of these hard like rocks like near his gut underneath his arms. They're not like soft. They're like these like rocks that all of a sudden just appeared. So I told her that, and then she said, she didn't want to hear anything negative about the trifexis. I don't know anything but what I learned. But she didn't want to hear anything negative about the trifexis. Now, if you go down that rabbit hole and you go online, it's basically a poison, kind of like what Roundup is. A couple just was rewarded $2 billion from Monsanto and Roundup. It's basically poison. And when you go online and you go to YouTube, you see all these dogs that are having these irreversible side effects and that are dying from it. And I've told this story a couple times now, but when I got back from Kauai, Lana put it on that when I was gone in Kauai, and it fixed his coat. I mean, it looked like Buddy was dying of leprosy just because he was eating himself alive. It fixed his coat. She only gave him half a dose rather than the full dose. And so I told her all of this. I told her his diet and everything, and she was very like pro trifexis. She told me to keep him on it, to put him back on it, which I did. And the charge, which is not listed anywhere, is $56. And I guess the first time that you are a customer of the animal hospital at the Court Street Animal Hospital, you get a 50% discount. So it was $28 and Lana paid for that. Now, before I paid for it, because I didn't have any money, I didn't know what it was. I actually had to wait. Like they thought I was super shady, and she said that it was, she called the situation something. She used a word that wasn't right, like, because I didn't know if I was gonna have to pay for it then as a payment plan. I didn't know. So I actually had to get on the phone with Lana, and then Lana used her credit card to pay for it before I could leave. I said like, look, I didn't know how much it was gonna be. There's not like a price here. Can I go back to Lana's house, which was only like 2 miles away, and then I'll go get, some money, and then I'll come back. And they said, no, you cannot leave. But before that came, when they took the temperature and they did his weight, he weighs 80 pounds. He normally weighs 65 pounds. So he's 15 pounds overweight. And I truly believe it's liquid in his lungs or fluids in his gut. There's something so wrong with your dog. Like, when something's wrong with your dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, if someone sees them all the time or doesn't see them all the time, they're like, oh, it could just be this. It's like, like when something is wrong with your animal just by the behavior, and if they're lethargic and if they're just not right. Temperature, weight, and heartbeat. And she said, there's no side effects here. And I said, well, what do you recommend? She said, put him back on the Trifexis. If he gets worse, which his breathing has gotten worse, it's like he's running 1,000,000 times an hour. His eyes are open, all through the night, and he cannot get his breath. It's like he cannot breathe, and his stomach is going like this. His heart is going like this. He's like this. He's not dreaming and having a bad nightmare. He just cannot breathe. She said, if that happens, this is what we could do. You come back and get a blood test, which is around $130. This is what she told me. And she said, if that blood test comes back abnormal, and it only takes 24 hours, this is exactly what she told me, then we can do an X-ray, which is around $170, and then we can find out, maybe what is wrong with him. I said, okay, great. So I've tried, I kind of did a similar video, and people, said, hey, we could raise some money for you. So I've tried charcoal in his food. I got Benadryl from the funds. I've ordered some silver, some doggy CBD stuff, the ambidextrous earth we've been putting in his food, the ACV we've been putting in his food. Like, I've tried all the suggestions. So today I made another video, and people started saying, hey, take Buddy to the vet. We'll raise some money for you. So I was like, all right, fine. I'm going to go back to the same vet. I go back there this morning, and actually I called last night, and I said, hey, can I get an invoice? Can I get a quote? I gave him my email address, and it didn't show up. She said, I'll send it to you in 15 minutes. I didn't get it till this morning, and I had already left before she sent it to my email address. So I get there, and the lady said, yes, I sent it to you this morning, and I don't have phone service, so it's not like I could look at my phone. She said, would you like me to print it out? I said, yes. So she printed it out. This is it. This is exactly what they gave me. It has all the breakdown, all the prices, and everything. But as you can see, it is a bundled price. It's for blood work and an X-ray. So it's close to $300. It's $304.20. Okay? So this has to be paid before services are rendered. But she told me I could do a blood test first, which is, like, they break it down here, senior dog profile. Like, they don't give it, they don't break it down in, like, layman's terms. They make it all, like, weird and hard to understand, and I believe on purpose. So now I can't do the blood test, wait for the results, and then do the X-ray. I have to do as a bundled price. So I'm already $58, $56 in, but the discount. So $28 already in. Now $304. So now this animal hospital, before anything has really been done, is close to $350, and then they're going to do the blood test and the X-rays. The X-rays might not even need to be done. The blood work might come back and say, hey, he just has allergies. You know what I'm saying? So this is very, very confusing to me. So I took a lot of advice from people, because this is something that I don't know about. So I took a lot of advice, and I called another animal hospital, which is an animal hospital and bird and animal hospital. It's on Sunset. And I emailed them first, and I sent them this from this, right? Then they tell me, well, has he been checked in at this animal hospital? I said, no. I'm like, he's already gone through all that here. And they're like, well, before we can even do anything, he needs to go get a checkup. I'm like, he already got a checkup. And they're like, no, you have to pay $58 for us to even see him. So I'm thinking, like, what is all this money grab? Like, I don't get it. Shouldn't there be one, like, doggy doctor, one animal doctor where you get the checkup and the checkup is good for all of these other little private animal hospitals? And shouldn't they have, when you walk in, if it's not stated in a menu, blood work, A through Z, $15, $28, $22, $30, X-rays here, A through Z, this is what it is. All the surgeries, like, this is what it is. Because then it will create competition, and then you can compare prices, and then you can shop around, and then look at testimonials and reviews online, and know what you're getting yourself into, versus all of these money grabs, and they know that you're already in an emotional state because it is your animal. It's a dear loved one that you love. So it's really confusing, and I think it's wrong. So I'm just rapping by myself. I'm like, well, why if we spend, and this is out there, but why if we spend $6 to $8 billion a month in all these, in Afghanistan, and all this nation building and all this military, complex, why in every city or every state can this just be free? Can this just not be free? If we spend all these trillions of dollars on all these other things that a lot of people don't even know about, why isn't this just free? Or, okay, so if that's not the case, then you got to go to school, and all these doctors go to school, and they're burdened with all of this medical debt, all the student loan with high interest rates. So of course they've got to overcharge you. And the less information, the less transparency that there is, knowing that you're in an emotional state, the more that they could gouge you. So I'm sitting here like, this is unbelievable. So now I can't go to another vet. I can't shop around. I can't pick their brain. I can't see what they would suggest until I pay a fee. And then to go shop around at another vet, maybe 2 ninja miles away, I got to pay another fee. And they might not even tell me what their rates are. So they stick a temperature thing in his ear and feel around and then tell me what they suggest. And who knows that they might jerk me around like this one is doing. So it's really, and then what I learned is if your dog or your animal is sick and not comfortable and you want to put them down, they charge you close to $400 to put your animal down. And I'm thinking about all of the wasted money that goes on in politics and just in government. And then when you have an animal that you're trying to take care of, they pull at those emotional strings and they mislead you. And there's zero transparency, and that means there's zero competition. Because if they are not legally, to tell you what their prices are, line by line, itemized, flat rate, then they can charge whatever they want. And then when you're already there and your animal's on its death's door, you're going to do whatever it is it takes, get a loan with maybe 40% interest rate, and they could charge you $5-6 grand and it might not even work. It's so wrong to me. I don't get it. So I just wanted to do this video. So now I guess I have to, I think we've raised close to $300. So I guess I have to bring Buddy back once I have $304.20 and let them do what it is that they're going to do. Now keep in mind, this isn't even like a solution. So if they find something wrong, who knows what they're going to charge? Who knows what they're going to charge? Do they got to give them an IV bag, like a little doggy chemo for four sessions at like $800 a pop? And then if it's too expensive and you say, I can't do that, so then they've already got you for $350, $400. And if you want to go seek a second option, you got to go pay these fees just to get them seen. Where you can't just get your dog seen one by one universal little doggy ninja and say, hey, he already has this checkup. Even if they put like a 60-day thing on it, so then you can go shop around. But if not, you have to keep paying this fee. So in the comment section below, I'm just trying to help Buddy. In this comment section below, please tell me if you've experienced this. Maybe there's a loophole. Maybe there's tricks that I don't know. But for someone that doesn't know anything about this, it seems like it's corrupt and it seems like it's wrong. And it seems like they really do play on those emotional strings, because you're not going to go to a vet unless you need their help. And an animal can't talk, so you're not going to know what's wrong with them. You're just seeing these side effects and something's wrong. So you're going to be desperate, and you can't shop around because they make it impossible to shop around. So let me know in the comment section if you can. As you can see, I'm a little bit emotional. And help me, please, because I'm confused. And if you know anybody that can help me, please tag them in this and maybe share this in any vet groups. That's it, y'all. I've got work to do. I love you very much. I'll read every single one of these comments and I'll respond to every single one, and hopefully I can find a solution that I can have someone really tend to Buddy, not get ripped off, and pay for quality service and pay for a solution or pay for a consultation that can assist me in deciding what it is that I need to do that's in the best interest of Buddy. That's all I'm trying to do. Thank you so much for watching this video, y'all. I love you. Keep it raw. Stay rad.